Jake Paul and Mike Tyson now have been suspended from boxing after controversial fight in Texas. Now, why, you may ask? Now, I didn't know this, okay?
Mike Tyson and Jake Paul were arrested after their highly anticipated fight devolved into one of the most absurd spectacles in boxing history, turning what was meant to be an epic showdown into chaos.
The whole thing was scripted. The whole thing was just a money grab. And for a lot of us that love Mike, and despite what he said in that interview with the girl about the legacy, we love him and his legacy, and we didn't like what we saw last.
The fight became a disaster of slow motion punches, bizarre moves, and a cash grab, completely disconnected from real boxing, making it a spectacle of absurdity.
Jake Paul just got Netflix sued. People got a big problem with this stream cut now.
After turning boxing into a mockery for a big payday, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul are finally getting what they deserve. They spent years throwing shame at the sport, but now the law has them facing a real fight, one they didn't see coming. The world watches as Tyson and Paul step into the ring, expecting an epic showdown. But what was supposed to be a monumental battle is now a spectacle of absurdity, leaving everyone wondering how it all went so wrong.
A 28-year-old kid who, used to be a YouTuber, and he's worked hard to learn boxing. He really has. He's come along. But really, he's still not of that level.
We had a legendary former heavyweight champion, Mike Tyson, facing Jake Paul, known for viral videos. This was supposed to be the greatest spectacle in boxing history. Instead, it turned into an absurd, unpredictable disaster.
Now it's free. We all got Netflix anyway, right? And you got to watch the girls fight. The girls fight was good. I know a lot of people were pissed, but it was a bit of a shit show. But what did you expect? Seriously, when you stayed home and you turned on Netflix that night, we were like, holy I'm about to see the greatest live sporting event of all time.
What we got instead was a sad, slow-motion circus act. At 58, Tyson looked like he just stepped out of a retirement home. His punches sluggish, footwork non-existent, and the fire in his eyes, maybe just a trick of the lights. It was a far cry from his former glory.
Tyson 7 of 34, 18%. So Tyson is averaging more punches than he did in that fight with McBride and in the exhibition against Roy Jones, where he averaged 24 punches around.
Like I said, I don't like the pet that keep messing with that mouthpiece.
Oh, left hook, triple left hook by Paul. He wobbled Tyson.
Mike's hurt.
Jake Paul, on the other hand, enters acting like a boxing prodigy, as if he spent years training with the world's best. In reality, he learned to box by watching YouTube tutorials and calling out anyone chasing clout. His big claim to fame, beating washed-up fighters who are mere shadows of their former selves, leaving people questioning his true skill and legitimacy in the sport.
You can't fight like 2 days in a row.
Wasn't the Tyson-Jake fight, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah.
The real comedy here, the payout. Tyson walks away with a cool $20 million, while Jake Paul casually takes home $40 million. Seriously, $40 million for a fight that looked like two grandpas arguing over the last slice of pizza. Is this really the future of boxing? Bravo.
At any point, did you start to take your foot off the gas just a little bit because you noticed he was tiring out?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a bit. I wanted to give the fans a show, but I didn't want to hurt someone that didn't need to be hurt.
Then came DJ, who kid's little revelation. The fighters were told not to go full throttle. Seriously, was this a fight between 6-year-olds? Tyson and Jake Paul, both well over 80 years old combined, were instructed to take it easy. This wasn't a real fight. It was a staged performance with clear instructions not to hurt each other too much. What was supposed to be a high-profile showdown turned into a circus, with Tyson and Paul playing the role of clowns. But the ultimate twist came when things went from light sparring to a full-blown legal brawl. Tyson and Jake Paul are no longer just facing off in the ring. They're now battling it out in the courtroom. You read that right. The International Boxing Association, IBA, has slapped both fighters with serious allegations, and lawsuits are flying for what's now being called the scripted fight heard around the world. Reading has become the buzzword in boxing, and it's causing a massive stir as the sport reels from this fiasco.
I mean, if you didn't think that that's the way the fight, I don't know what people expected. Mike's almost 60 years old. He's Mike Tyson, but he's 60 years old. And He knew that Jake Paul couldn't do anything to him. So you knew what you were going to get.
The chaos erupted after rumors spread about a leaked script and fans went wild. The internet lost its mind when details surfaced. Tyson was instructed to start slow and deliberately underperform, making it appear he was past his prime, while giving Jake Paul a chance to shine. How adorable, right? What was supposed to be a high-stakes battle quickly turned into a carefully scripted performance, disappointing fans worldwide.
Mike Tyson could have knocked him out there. Jake Paul's chin was wide open, but then Mike Tyson realized, just as he was about to throw that punch, that, oh no, I'm getting paid lots of money, I can't knock him out. So ridiculous, mate. This video has been sent to me so many times, it's went viral. People saying that Mike Tyson could have knocked him out. See, it was a scam, it was a script.
Mike Tyson is facing serious backlash. The iconic baddest man on the planet is now accused of being complicit in this grand spectacle. He's not just getting roasted on social media. Tyson could also face arrest for allegedly putting on a stage show just for money.
We saw last night seemed like something that very much tarnished his legacy for a little bit of bread, you know? And somebody will say, oh, 20 million, that's not a little bit of money. Well, you know, I was talking to my man Isaiah Washington earlier, and he was breaking it down as far as...
There are whispers, no rumors, swirling that Tyson's legendary status may not be enough to save him from the fallout. Was he a victim, an accomplice, or just an old man trying to cash in on a hefty paycheck? We don't know yet, but one thing's clear, Tyson's legacy could be at serious risk here.
He wasn't even good at the end, and now he's 58 there. And he's been living the kind of life he's been living. How's he going to have a chance? I'm putting everything on Paul. I'm laying 180. I think it was 180 he was getting. It was two. I think it went up to minus 220, whatever. But it was minus 180. I'm putting everything on.
Jake Paul may be riding high off that massive payday, but now he's facing a whole new kind of fight, the courtroom. Imagine that Jake Paul, the so-called problem child of boxing, might find himself in the kind of fame he never expected. This could really shake up his influencer brand. He thrives on controversy, but this might be one scandal too many. The International Boxing Association, IBA, could come after him, and depending on how things unfold, this could be a career-defining moment. Both Tyson and Paul have brought so much shame to the boxing world that now it might become the new normal to question whether any fight is truly authentic or if it's just another showbiz circus. Watching the fight footage back, it's hard not to laugh at how awkward everything looked. Tyson, who once sent opponents into the afterlife with a single punch, appeared more concerned with remembering where he left his keys. And Jake Paul, his defense was more about posing for the cameras than actually protecting himself. It was as if he was auditioning for a role in a Rocky remake. It was clear. This wasn't a fight for the ages. It was a stage spectacle that left fans questioning the integrity of the sport.
He has his one move he's known for, and like he gets in the pocket, goes low and gets in, and he did that and had a clear opening on Jake, and Jake went like this, and Mike just didn't hit him, and that's the video I'm seeing everywhere, but I remember in the
Show
moment,
me that, pull that. You'll probably watch it if it's short.
But yeah, I agree, Dan, I think it's more of just like they agreed to...
It's a show fight.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of what they do.
Seriously, what's more entertaining than watching the so-called biggest fight in recent boxing history turn into an embarrassing spectacle, where everyone gets paid handsomely for pretending.
Requested the 2-minute round, wanting to see more action. He just landed the overhand right, testing the beard of Paul early.
And everybody was saying, oh, nice shot by Jake Paul.
Right hand by Paul. That is.
Mike Tyson, once a powerhouse in the ring, is now reduced to following a scripted routine for a paycheck. Jake Paul, the king of social media drama, continues to cash in on every opportunity to flex for his fans. This fight was less about boxing and more about putting on a show, and unfortunately, we all bought tickets to the circus. Now other instances of scripted fights are starting to surface, raising the question, is this becoming the new norm in combat sports? As fans, do we need to accept that entertainment often outweighs actual competition? The integrity of the sport seems to be taking a backseat to spectacle.
Last Friday's big ringside fight could be heading to court. A Florida man has filed a $50 million lawsuit against Netflix claiming breach of contract.
Tyson and Paul may have ignited a legal wildfire over Netflix's live-streamed fight, which was plagued by technical issues, buffering, crashes, and poor quality streams during key moments. But the worst part wasn't the glitches. Fans were furious, demanding refunds for what they felt was a poorly executed, disappointing experience.
In breaking news, streaming giant Netflix is being issued a class action in relation to the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. TMZ reports the lawsuit is over streaming issues and a breach of contract.
The real drama erupted when Netflix faced class action lawsuits for deceptive practices and breach of contract. Fans are demanding refunds and are holding back in expressing their frustration.
But yeah, I agree, Dan. I think it's more of just like they agreed to.
It's a show fight.
It's a
This
show
is kind
fight.
of what they do.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when Mayweather
wrestling.
fought Logan. It was like obvious. But yeah, I mean, listen, Mike Tyson's old as f. I think you're right. They decided not that. I mean, because Mike was. I don't think Mike was ever going to hurt Jake. Probably.
Social media exploded with clips breaking down every punch as critics pointed out that Tyson's sluggish movements didn't match his intense training footage. Some fans believe the fight was a setup to protect both fighters' reputations, Tyson's legacy intact, and Jake Paul's ego preserved. If you thought this was just talk, Jake Paul's manager has dismissed the rigging rumors as baseless. However, once rumors of rigging spread, it's hard to shake them. The controversy continues to stir, leaving many questioning the integrity of the fight.
Everybody who, got in and getting ready for, something magical, something historic, whatever. I just want to say the same thing I say to myself. Hello, suckers. Hello, suckers. Myself included.
Boxing fans were livid, and rightfully so. What was meant to be a clash between two fighters turned into a staged performance with more drama than a reality TV show. Hardcore boxing fans saw through the facade and were furious, feeling betrayed by the spectacle instead of a real fight.
The whole thing was scripted. The whole thing was just a money grab. And for a lot of us that love Mike, and despite what he said in that interview with the girl about the legacy, we love him and his legacy, and we didn't like what we saw last night.
The scripted fight didn't just ruin the event, it transformed fans' skepticism into outright fury. Who could blame them? The integrity of a sport built on blood, sweat, and broken bones was thrown out the window for the sake of an Instagram post and a few extra zeros on paychecks. Social media exploded with memes, rants, and endless debates about the fight's legitimacy. Hardcore boxing fans were livid, claiming they'd been duped, while casual viewers found themselves caught in the middle, unsure whether to cheer for Jake Paul's win or feel like they just participated in the world's most expensive TV show.
You should fight somebody
Jake's like
his
6'1".
own size, his own age. Just enough. Who knows how to box?
I want to see him do MMA with Conor McGregor. I've seen that thrown around
He
too.
would never agree to that.
I think he's been wanting. I think he's challenged him.
No shot he would do that.
This whole mess has put Jake Paul's influencer boxer persona in jeopardy. Can he bounce back from this? Will fans ever see him as more than a YouTube star with gloves? The jury's still out, but one thing is certain. This controversy is doing him no favors and may damage his credibility.
Conspiracy theorists argue that Tyson, now 58, took the fight for the $20 million payday and let Paul have an easy victory. After all, Tyson is well past his prime, hadn't fought in years. Some even claim Tyson wasn't attacking at all, making it seem like the whole thing was staged for Paul to get a win over a legendary boxer.
Tyson, once an untouchable champion, is now under fire for potentially selling out for money.
The whole thing was scripted. The whole thing was just a money grab. And for a lot of us that love Mike, and despite what he said in that interview with the girl about the legacy, we love him and his legacy, and we didn't like what we saw last night. What we saw last night seemed like something that very much tarnished his legacy.
From a legendary status to the star of a Netflix drama, could this be the end of Iron Mike Tyson's reputation? Some fans feel they've been hit below the belt, not the punch, but with betrayal. The real question now is whether boxing is about entertainment or authenticity. With influencer boxing on the rise, many fans are starting to wonder if the sport is losing its soul in favor of big paychecks. The line between sports and spectacle is blurring faster than Jake Paul's punches, and the real concern isn't just whether it's happening, but how far it will go. Did Tyson and Paul rig their fight? Probably not, but the rumors are so juicy, they'll keep the controversy alive for a while. As both fighters navigate the fallout, it's clear this fight will be remembered, though not for the reasons they had hoped. The sport may never be the same.